40,000 years ago, Neanderthals vanished, a species that had survived for over 400,000 years through ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and some of the most brutal climate shifts this planet has ever seen. And then, within just 5,000 years of Homo sapiens arriving in Europe, they were gone. Scientists have been arguing about why for over 160 years. And the answer, it turns out, is more complicated and more surprising than most people think. Let's start with what most people assume, that we killed them. The image is familiar. Modern humans arriving, Neanderthals outnumbered, outcompeted, maybe even hunted to extinction. And while competition certainly played a role, a 2024 study published in Nature found something that challenges the simple story. Researchers analyzed DNA from 27 Neanderthals found at 10 sites across northwestern Europe, right before they disappeared. What they found was surprising. At least some groups of Neanderthals were not heavily inbred. They were genetically diverse, part of larger, interconnected regional populations. These were not a dying people stumbling toward extinction. They were functional, adapted, surviving. Until suddenly, they weren't. So what actually happened? Theory 1. Climate change. Neanderthals had survived ice ages before, but around 40,000 years ago, the climate became increasingly unpredictable. Rapid swings between cold and warm periods that destabilized ecosystems faster than any previous shift. Neanderthals were specialists. They had evolved to hunt large Ice Age animals, mammoths, woolly rhinos, giant deer. When those animals declined, Neanderthal hunting strategies didn't adapt fast enough. Brianna Pobiner, paleoanthropologist at the Smithsonian, puts it simply, being specialized is a great survival strategy until the thing you're specialized for disappears. Theory 2. They couldn't talk to enough people. This one might be the most important. A 2026 study using techniques from digital ecology found that the key difference between Neanderthals and Homo sapiens wasn't intelligence, or tools, or even strength. It was social networks. Homo sapiens formed larger, more flexible networks. They traded across long distances. They shared resources with groups they'd never met. When disorder hit one region, they could call on connections somewhere else. Neanderthal networks were different, smaller, more regional, more fragile. When conditions became unpredictable, those smaller networks couldn't absorb the shocks. Think of it like this. If your entire support system lives in one neighborhood and that neighborhood floods, you have nowhere to go. Homo sapiens had connections across continents. Neanderthals had connections across valleys. Theory 3. Disease. When two populations that have been separated for hundreds of thousands of years suddenly come into contact, they carry different pathogens. Homo sapiens had spent tens of thousands of years moving through Africa and the Middle East, picking up immunities to diseases Neanderthals had never encountered. There's no direct fossil evidence for this, but it's the same pattern we've seen throughout human history. Whenever isolated populations meet, disease does more damage than any weapon. Theory 4. They didn't go extinct at all. This is the theory that changes everything. A 2024 DNA analysis in the journal Science found that Homo sapiens and Neanderthals exchanged DNA at multiple points over the past 250,000 years. Not just once, but repeatedly. Joshua Akey, geneticist at Princeton, puts it this way. Homo sapiens populations were larger, and like waves crashing on a beach, they eventually absorbed the Neanderthals. Not through a single catastrophic event, but gradually, interbreeding over generations, until the Neanderthal population was simply folded into ours. Which means the question might not be, why did Neanderthals go extinct? It might be, did they? If you have ancestry from outside Africa, 1 to 4% of your DNA is Neanderthal. That DNA is still doing things. It's in genes connected to your immune system, your metabolism, your sleep cycles, even your risk for certain mental health conditions. Some of those Neanderthal gene variants help protect against disease. Others may increase certain health risks. They were not erased, they were inherited. Here's what the science is telling us now. The Neanderthal extinction was probably not one thing. It was climate instability hitting specialists who couldn't adapt their food sources fast enough. It was social networks too small to survive unpredictable shocks. It was disease introduced by a population carrying immunities they'd never built up. And it was interbreeding, slow, continuous, generation by generation, until the line between Neanderthal and Homo sapiens became impossible to draw. They didn't fall, they dissolved. And the proof is inside you, right now, in the code that runs every cell in your body. If you want more, subscribe and hit the bell. Don't miss what's coming next.